Welcome back to day number 173. My name is Mary, and today's story is Jehoiakim. When the good king Josiah fell in battle, the people of the land made his son Jehoahaz king. At that time, all the kingdoms around Judah were in confusion. The great empire of Assyria had been the ruler of nearly all that part of the world, but now it had been broken up. Nineveh, its chief city, had been destroyed, and Egypt, Babylonia, and other lands were at war, each striving to take the place of Assyria as the ruler of the nations. Pharaoh Necho, the king of Egypt, whose warriors had slain King Josiah, became for a time the master of the lands between Egypt and the Euphrates River. He felt he could not trust young King Jehoahaz. So he took his crown from him and took him as a captive down to Egypt. Jehoahaz, the 17th king, reigned only 3 months. The prophet Jeremiah said this about the young king: "Weep not for the dead king Josiah, nor sorrow over him, but weep for him that goeth thee away, the king Jehoahaz. For he shall return no more, nor shall he again see his own land. In the place where they have led him captive, there shall he die, and he shall look upon this land no more." The man Pharaoh Necho set up as king over Judah in place of Jehoahaz was his brother Jehoiakim, another son of Josiah. But he was not like his father, because he led his people back to the idols Josiah had tried to destroy. Jeremiah the prophet warned him that his evil ways would surely ruin himself and the people, which made King Jehoiakim very angry. He tried to kill the prophet, but Jeremiah was hidden by his friends. Jeremiah could no longer go out among the people or stand in the temple to speak the word of the Lord. So he wrote God's message and gave it to his friend Barak, to read before the people. While Barak was reading it, some officers of the king came, took the message away, and brought it to the king. King Jehoiakim was sitting in his place with the princes around him, a fire burning before him, for it was winter time. The officer began to read the scroll to the king and the princess. But when he had read a few pages, the king took up a knife and began cutting up the pages and throwing them into the fire. Even the princes were shocked at this, for they knew the writing on the scroll was God's word to the king and the people. They begged the king not to destroy the scroll, but he would not listen to them. He went on cutting up the scroll and throwing it in the fire until it was all burned. The king told his officers to capture Jeremiah and Barak, and he would have killed them if he found them, but they were hidden, and he could not find them, for the Lord kept them safe. Jehoiakim reigned a few years as the servant of the king of Egypt. But soon the Egyptians lost all the land they had gained outside their own country. The Babylonians under Nebuchadnezzar and rose to power over the nations and took the place of the empire that had been held by the Assyrians. Nebuchadnezzar was the son of the king of Babylon, and at first was the general of his army. He attacked Judah and Jerusalem, but Jehoiakim did not dare to fight with him. He promised to serve Nebuchadnezzar, and on that condition was allowed to remain king. No sooner had the Babylonian army gone away than he broke his promise, rose up against Babylon, and tried to make himself free. But he did not succeed. Instead, he lost his kingdom and his life, for either the Babylonians or his own people killed him, and his dead body was thrown outside the gate of the city. He had reigned in wickedness for 11 years, and he died in disgrace. And that was the word of the Lord. Now we come to our discussion questions. 1. What happened to King Jehoahaz? What happened to the king Jehoahaz? Number 2. Who did Pharaoh Necho make king in Jehoahaz's place? Who did Pharaoh Necho make king in Jehoahaz's place? Number 3. What was the new king like? What was the new king like? Number 4. Why did the king dislike Jeremiah? Why did the king dislike Jeremiah? Number 5 and last. What did he do to the Pharaoh's message? What did he do to the Pharaoh's message? And that was the end of our day number 173. Thank you again for being there, viewing, sharing, listening, and I hope you have enjoyed listening to the story as much as I have joy in reading it. May you have a great day, and may God bless us all. Until next time. Bye for now.